Hi everyone, welcome to my home. I hope you guys all had a wonderful Thanksgiving day. In case you're new here, my name's Mary, and here on YouTube I like to share some of the projects I have going on around here with you all. In today's video, I'll be fixing up our living room for the Christmas season. I can't wait. And I decided this year I'm going to go with just a little bit more of a minimalistic style of decorating. Maybe not quite minimalistic, but just a little bit more so. Maybe just decorating with a few natural things, some greens. So let's get right into it. So as you can see, our living room is still kind of in the fall mode here. And I plan to put the tree back here in the corner. I think I did that last year too. So I'll probably have to move the love seat over here to this end. It always makes it a bit crowded in here, but that's really the only option. I really don't want to block my picture window back there. Not quite sure about the end tables. Some of those may be moved too, but for now, let's just get rid of the fall colors in here and then set up the tree. I'll probably take the pictures down from the walls back here. And as often happens when I start moving furniture around, I had a mind change. I think I'm going to see whether this love seat will look okay in front of the window. After all, I think in previous years I may have done that. I think I'll probably have to remove the swing back in the corner. I do think that looks better. Twinkle probably won't be impressed with me moving his nest, but I think I'll be able to fit something else behind the love seat. Put a little cushion or blanket on it for him. He really likes that window. I know I often talk about my little Dyson sweeper. I just love it. It's so handy to just grab and sweep things up. No cord involved. I have a link down below in the description box. It's an Amazon link. It is my affiliate link, so if you would purchase a sweeper using that link, I would get a small commission, but it doesn't change the price for you. I knew I would have to put something behind the love seat here in front of this window for Twinkle, and I found this cube that I had redone a couple of years ago. I'm going to cover it with one of his blankets or towels. Let's see what he says. Oh, I think he might actually like it. Even though this tree is a mess to put up and take down, I really like it. I had gotten it at 'Tis the Season, and if you're local you probably know where I'm talking about, but it's a store that is open year-round with Christmas things here in Berlin, Ohio. I've always wanted one of these basket tree skirts, and I found one in Lowe's, and it was actually half price. So I quickly got that. I'm going to see how it looks. I thought if I'm going more for the, simple kind of country look, this should look great. I have a new product announcement in today's video, a Christmas decoration. I always tell you guys I love the season of Christmas, even, just decorating for it, of course, and sometimes I go a little crazy with coming up with things that I would love to incorporate into other people's homes, especially when it comes to things I love. In this case, natural wood ornaments. These are going to be stained using an aged oak color of stain. And then the prettiest little snowflake decals are going to be applied to them and then completed with a jute cord for hanging. They're going to look so pretty. Again, just going for this natural kind of earthy wood vibe here in the living room. We will probably sell these in sets of 3 on the Etsy shop, so make sure to check that out if you're needing some. We'll try to get them to you as soon as possible. I know it's a little last minute here with decorating for Christmas, you know, getting items into people's hands, but I guess they're always good for another year. And you could also use them for little gift tags, or they wouldn't necessarily have to hang from your tree. I think there'd be other uses for them, just having them laying somewhere or just for the pretty look of them. Here I'm just using the same snowball ornaments I use every year to decorate the tree with, along with the new wooden ones. Again, sticking with a less is more look by not just adding a whole lot of ornaments. I wanted to make some wooden candle holders for the mantle, probably around 6 of them. I decided to also use these wooden round shapes for my base and then also to hold the candle. And then for my in-between, I'll use an old spindle. I have a lot of old spindles around here. Cut some sections of those out, paint them, and then put everything together. I want this to look kind of vintagey, old-fashioned, almost like a spool look maybe, but a little fancier. Here I'm using driftwood stain color. It's a little lighter than my normal aged oak that I use, and it's a little more on the gray side. I think it turned out so pretty. As I'm working on these candle holders, I'm thinking how neat it would be if you guys could make your own, if you would so choose to. So I think we're going to have these actual wooden round pieces available on the Etsy shop where you can make your own craft, whether it's a candle holder or something else. They would come unfinished, unsanded. You would basically just create your own little decoration or craft. I always think it's kind of hard to find that nice, true wood product. Like if you want to make something, you know, in a craft store, it's kind of hard to find. Often it's maybe veneer or your fake wood. This is the real thing. It's actually made with a 1/2-inch maple wood. Just such a pretty grain, I think. So I found this dirty old mirror in the shop, and it used to be part of a medicine cabinet. I took the medicine cabinet part off and just kept the mirror because I kind of like the frame of it. I'm going to clean it up, see how it looks, and possibly use it on the mantle. I found this really pretty fabric in Hobby Lobby recently, and I thought when I saw it, it's fitting for the Christmas season, being that the design is, you know, green. And then I think it's also going to be fitting for the spring season. I just love this color of green, and depending on what you incorporate it with, you know, I think it could go either way, Christmas or spring. I'm going to go ahead and make 2 pillow covers to replace my fall colored ones that I had on the sofa, and these will measure around 20 inches square. And I think I'm going to have these available on the Etsy shop. I have enough fabric here that I'll be able to make some more, and I think it's a pretty enough fabric and I think some of you guys might like it too. And I'll probably just make them 18 inches square for the Etsy shop because I think that's kind of the popular size, or so it seems. And I think they're going to look really pretty in any style of home. And I often use another color, like plain fabric, for the back. That way it saves for my pretty fabric that I want to use for my fronts. In this case, I'm using a plain white. And I've showed you guys before how I make these. They're super simple if you just want to make your own. You know, just cut your front the size you want your pillow to be. That way, once you have your insert in there, the pillow will be nice and puffy. So in this case, I'm just cutting the fronts 20 inches square, and then the back will be an envelope back opening. That of course takes 2 pieces, and I want them to overlap around 3 inches, even 3 to 4 inches. So I'll probably cut each section around 13 to 14 inches. As I often do when I make covers for myself, I take the lazy route and don't serge the edges. But trust me, if you buy some from the Etsy shop, they will have nice serged edges. So let's check out this space and see what we still need. I do have a large lantern that I plan to set on this table. It's one I've had in storage for a number of years, had gotten it at a garage sale. And then onto the actual sofa. As you can see, we are in dire need of a new one. I can't believe how long this sofa has lasted, which it probably should have been replaced a number of years ago. I'm not sure can the camera pick this up or not, but we do have some of the frame shape coming through here. It does not sit well. It's just, yeah, definitely in need of replacement. I do have a fund going that I plan to use then to buy a new one, but for now, this one has to do. And honestly, I always liked this sofa. We had gotten it for really cheap down in Columbus, I believe in a American Freight furniture store. I think we paid just under $500 for it. So that's not too bad to think that it's lasted, 10 years, but like I said, it probably should have been replaced a number of years ago. But as far as the space, I do have a large chunky throw that I plan to, or a blanket that I plan to lay in here somewhere. And then I'm almost thinking, do I want to try to add some color onto the sign here? I do want to come up with a Christmas decal that I would probably have available on the Etsy shop then. But I'm almost debating to flip the sign around and painting the other side green, like not the frame, but the actual, base part of it. I think white also looks pretty, but I'm thinking just a little bit more color right in here might look good. So let's see what we can do. I do have some paint that I'll mix together, trying to get that perfect shade of green. Here I'm just painting a section. I'm going to put it in above the couch, just kind of see if the color is right. I'm thinking it's almost too light. I now wish I wouldn't have added that white. It might not be that shade of green that I'm looking for, but we'll see. So I like this color of green, but I think it's not quite as Christmassy as I'd want it to be. So I ended up going to the hardware. I was in there anyway, and I got this pretty green color. It's called Lichen Moss, and I was thinking more of a mossy color. So I think this will be just a shade darker, a little more what I have in mind. I'm of course using my Silhouette Cameo to cut out the decal. And recently I haven't really talked that much about this amazing machine. This machine was actually a life changer for me. Initially, it kind of started off my Etsy shop, and there's just so much you can do with it. For example, just one thing here, I'm actually cutting without using the mat. You're able to cut out long designs, of course just 12 inches wide at the most, but as long as you wish for the most part. And this is still my first machine. I've probably had it for maybe 6-7 years, and I can't remember ever having any issues with it. Maybe a time or two where we had to kind of restart it. But knock on wood as I say this, but it's just really held out well for us over the years, and we've used it a lot. I always imagine it would have cut, miles of vinyl already. Well, maybe that's exaggerating, but so it seems. I have some other videos where I talk a little more in depth about this machine, and I'll try to link them down below in the description box in case you're wanting to check it out maybe. I mean, I'm not an expert on knowing everything about this. Like, I just really use it for basic stuff, but what it does is just an amazing job, and that's what counts. And I know it's even capable of doing more, but again, I guess it just does what I need it to do. I'll also leave a link down below in the description box of this machine. It will be a more recent model, but that one also works just great. I also have that one, and it just works the same way as this one for the most part. A fluffy, cozy pillow to put on top of the basket that I'm going to set by the mantle. And here I'm just using drop cloth and sewing some really fluffy fleece along the edge. And I'm using the same method that I used for the pillows that I made for the sofa with the envelope back closure. It took a little more time, working with this fluffy fleece, but I think it's going to look pretty good once it's finished. I really wished I had a pretty antique frame to use here, but I'm just making do with what I have. This is one John had actually made, a frame from the signs we sell on the Etsy shop. Not sure where I had gotten this garland. It is several years old, thinking maybe Hobby Lobby or even Walmart, not quite sure. These stockings I've also had for a couple of years. I've really debated making some new ones, but for now I'll just hang these up. Gifted me with this beautiful blanket last year for Christmas. It's so cozy. I'll try to leave a link for it down below in the description box. I'll have to ask him where he got it for sure. You guys may remember the fall potpourri I had done. These are just oranges from that I'm hanging on this little tree. I believe the tree is from Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago. hope this video was inspiring to you to maybe fix up your home. It really doesn't take that much just to bring some Christmas cheer into a room. So far, I really like the less is more theme that I have going on here in the living room. I'm pretty sure I'll probably continue that into the kitchen and maybe the bedroom. We'll see. And again, make sure to check out the Etsy shop in case you're needing some items to decorate your home with. We have anything on there from pillows to wooden cutouts, candles. Our Christmas soap is sold out, but we do have some other great smelling soap. Just to name a few items, and then of course the new ones that I showed you in today's video, the wooden ornaments, the decal to my left here, the new pillow, and then the plain round cutouts that we plan to sell in case you want to make your own little craft. As always, I hope your day is going great, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!